Welcome to the Love Story Podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Green, where we are capturing the magic of every love story. Okay, here we go. Love Story Wedding Show 2026. What can you expect? You can expect a multitude of vendors. So we're going to have different vendors, different offerings for weddings and events, all of that kind of fun stuff. So kind of the idea of like, if you're planning a party, if you're planning a wedding, awesome, you should show up. If you're planning an event that's related to weddings, you should show up. If you're planning an event anyway, a quinceanera, I don't know, maybe you need somebody who's going to pop up a tent, or maybe you need someone who's going to be a photographer. So Love Story Wedding Show, yes, but events also. Come on down. We'd love to have you. We'd love to see you. We are going to have the runway happening at the middle of the show, so that way you don't have to leave and go to sequester to a separate room. We're all going to stay. We're all going to hang out. We're all friends here. We're all going to watch the runway happen. That'll be at 1:30. So doors open at 11 a.m. for the Gen Pop, but 10 to 11 is going to be VIP happy hour. So VIP hour from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock with the opportunity to win prizes, play games. We're going to do bridal bingo with podcast producer Abbey that you can't see me looking at, but she's right off screen through her rock horns. So we're going to have 10 to 11 bride bingo and fun prizes and games. 11 to 2 Gen Pop. Come in, hang out, check out the vendors. 1:30 is going to be the runway show. And we are also going to have different speakers kind of throughout the day. So if you want to hear what it's like to turn your floral bouquet into a dried bouquet, come on over to my booth at whatever time on the agenda. And I'll just talk to you a little bit about what you need to do to prep that, to get that ready for drying, or other different vendors that are going to be talking about highlights as well. I think Monica at Mantra Salon is going to have a little segment talking about hair and makeup. We're going to have different people just kind of in the lineup talking about different things that you may or may not need or want to know. So let's see what else. If we are talking about people who've already sent on, so a preview of some of the people that are already involved. So we have Alicia Rose Photography is going to be there. We have Complete Wedding and Event Rental. They're going to be there with some tents. So if your parents just bought a beautiful lake house and you want to have a big wedding with the lake as a backdrop, you're going to need a tent. So you can go to those guys. We have the Summit team with the Dinah Realty. So if you are getting married, you want to buy a house, you're going to want to talk to David V and the Summit team. Larry Logeman. So if you need the Executive Express bus, you need to be transported from site A to site B and you want to do it in style, you're going to want to talk to Larry with Executive Express. We have the mansion, the Foley Mansion. So if you're going to be having a small gathering and you want to have just like a small wedding, you're going to want to go to the Foley Mansion, which is a renovated mansion in nearby downtown St. Cloud. So very fun. They've got things like a conservatory. So if you want to find Miss Scarlett in the conservatory with the rope, you would do it at the Foley Mansion. Let's see, who else do we have? Let's see, we've got people who have a bar cart. So if you want to just have you're getting married at the backdrop of your parents' new lake home, you're going to want a mobile bar. So we've got mobile bar people, we've got ice cream people that are going to be there, we've got food trucks. I think something that I really love, the idea of like going into a wedding, especially if you're going to be doing an outdoor wedding or if you're going to keep it a little bit more informal, the idea of having a food truck come up and everyone can just kind of go get their food. A food truck that's like your dessert truck. Go up and get whatever dessert you want, and then there you go. That's it. Let it be a little bit more interactive. Give people an opportunity to go stretch their legs. Other wedding trends in the wedding industry. What are you seeing in music, Abby? What are people doing from the DJ perspective? Abby's off camera, but she's here in spirit.
And I work very heavily in the wedding industry. So one thing I saw at a wedding I did this past week, this was so cool. During the like dinner hour, instead of just like playing some nice like normal dinner hour music, this was a Halloween themed wedding. So they were doing everything just a little bit different, which was really fun. They had a thing where they were playing like popular songs, like Monster Mash and like things that you know the words to. If you wanted the bride and groom to kiss instead of clinking their glass, you had to grab the microphone and sing it to the bride and groom and then they would kiss.
I love it.
I thought that was super cute.
These are all fun things. So teasers, we are going to be telling my love story. Eventually, one of these days, we'll get him in here. But we've been talking about all the fun different wedding things that we're going to do. Not officially engaged, but he's the love of my life and we're going to get married. We were talking about fun wedding ideas for things that we're going to do. I love the fun wedding trends and the fun goofy stuff that people are doing. I love making people go up and do different things. If you want a kiss, you got to put in a little bit of work. You can't just clink a glass.
Right. And
so
there's
80s.
Also been a hot trend on TikTok.
Okay.
So again, during dinner hour, instead of just like normal dinner hour music, what people have been doing is they've been harvesting like their mom's first dance song with their dad, their grandparents, their aunts and uncles, and then giving that list to the DJ. And then the DJ's been playing their first dance songs. And so all these couples get to have their first dance like during dinner.
Oh my God, I love
before
that.
the couple of the night has their first dance.
Can we do like a wedding tip episode and just like filter this in as like fun little stuff because like wedding trends and wedding tips and that kind of stuff?
Yes.
I love this. This is so fun. Well, I've been doing so many dried bridal bouquets for different weddings. I've got even some that I haven't posted yet of people who like, I dried my bouquet and now it's just sitting in a wad in a box somewhere and I don't know what to do with it. Can you do something with this? Yes. So I wonder if I don't think she sent me a picture of it, but of what her bouquet looked like beforehand. But I just took, so her roses were a little bit like tight when she dried them. And I remember doing her bouquet. This is a bouquet from 2022. And she was like, it was so beautiful. I've gone way too far back. And she was like, I dried it and I don't know what to do with it. Can you do something with it? And the answer is yes. I just took and slightly rehydrated her roses in my cooler and then opened them up so they looked so much more full and prettier. Oh my God.
You brought them back to life from 2022?
Kinda.
You're just playing God?
Yeah,
in your
to stretch
floral
them out,
studio?
just to rehydrate them a little bit. How many stupid pictures do I take? So many.
Limit does not exist.
Oh, here it is. Okay, so all of these roses and everything were all really tight and just like when you think of a typical dried rose, but I rehydrated them in my cooler and I opened them up a little bit so then it like creates like more of that like
so pretty.
Yeah,
that color scheme.
Yeah, it was purples. So there was purples, lavenders, and everything in here. I don't think I used anything else other than all of her wedding flowers. Even like that anemone, I put that in the cooler and I rehydrated it a little bit so it opened up and dried a little nicer. And it just like, so pretty. Yeah, I've been doing so many dried bouquets. This was another one that just went out the door yesterday. We just dried that. Her wedding was a couple of weeks ago. And so it's just these like rich, robust, like browns and whites and
the oranges in there are gorgeous.
And then I have a couple of bouquets that I'm redoing for people that were from weddings from a couple of years ago and they didn't think to save their wedding flowers or do anything with them. So lots of dried bouquets and shadow boxes that are going out the door.
I love that you're offering that.
Oh, yeah.
Because like the wedding is such a flash in the pan in the grand scheme of things. So like the ways to preserve it after the fact, I think that's so cool.
Well, that's like everything that you're doing with your the phone that you was like, which by the way, I saw a wedding venue that is offering that very same phone and I was like, Abby's review.
Red flag,
work.
red flag,
Yes,
red flag.
Exactly.
Hire a professional, red flag.
Which is, yes, because anyone can add on anything. But if you are working with someone who knows what they're doing and you've tried it and you tested it, and also to like, how sad would you be to not have a backup for something like that if something doesn't work? I have I had my grandma sing the ice cream song and I made her, which is a song that she sang to us ever since we were kids. And I made her sing it to me and I recorded it on my phone. And then I have since lost that phone in the river, but I sent that to my sisters. How tragic if I would have lost my grandma singing the ice cream. That's the last time I will ever get to hear my grandma sing the ice cream song. And it exists on the internet or in some capacity somewhere. How tragic to go to your wedding and to try to record everybody giving you will never be able to duplicate wedding well wishes of the people in the moment and coming into this little phone booth. If it doesn't work, awful.
I was distraught. So yeah, for context, if you have no idea what we're talking about, it's this like vintage looking phone where you pick up the receiver. It says, "Hey, welcome to our wedding. Leave us a message after the beep."
And is it done by the couple who says that? Or is it? Okay.
Yep. Or there's a generic one on it, but you can have the couple record it too, which is cool.
So cute.
So I had this for my friend's wedding. I'm like, I'm going to test it out at my friend's wedding because if something does go haywire, she's still going to love me. Yeah. I set it all up, had it ready to go, tested it. It was working great. When I tested it throughout the night, I left a couple messages. It was still working in the test. It was like 10 o'clock at night. We're having so much fun on the dance floor.
It's telling the story in the moment
in real
it's
time.
Actually happening.
Yeah.
I love that.
And so thought everything was working fine. All the indicator lights were working fine. Got it home the next day to start piecing together the master recording of everything. There's no files on it. The last file recorded was the test run that I did the week before. And I'm like, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
And so I went to Amazon where I bought it from and read some of the reviews. And there is a good chunk of reviews that are like, set it up at my wedding. It didn't work. So like I went back to the drawing board and completely, I'm like, well, what do I have in my house that would actually do this without me needing to
How can I do this without, yeah.
Yeah. And I figured out a way. So, but yeah,
we're going to have that at my wedding, 100%.
We're going to have it at the wedding show. People can come leave messages at the wedding show.
Yes, they can. Yeah. I love that so much. And then too, like the ability to like, because then you are a podcast producer, Abbey, who can cut out little snippets and you can send all of the little files and do what you need to do and whatever. So yeah, it's perfect. All of the ways, because I think what I love about the wedding trends in the wedding industry right now is that it's not about like, what are the trends overall? What it is it's like, what's going to make the Graves wedding unique? And that's what it is. What is it that you guys are doing that you maybe saw someone do one time or whatever, or some crazy idea that you had or whatever, and how can you execute that and make that happen? And not everybody wants to have audio recordings, not everybody wants to have a videographer, whatever, but it's like, but if you do, then because of the wide world of the internet, you can have so many different fun options of ways that you can make your wedding unique and shine.
The beautiful thing about the wedding industry is there's no rules anymore.
No. Exactly.
No one's like, oh, I have to do the bouquet toss. Oh, I have to do the garter toss. No, I haven't seen anyone do that in years.
I can count on one hand in the last probably 10 years how many toss bouquets I've made.
Yeah, people just don't do that anymore because they don't want to and they don't have to.
I don't need someone going up my dress and grabbing my garter with their teeth.
Yeah.
And like, nah, I don't need to do that. We can have fun other ways.
Yes.
Or even the like I love that it's like some people do the signs like for every trend that like, and I think that's what I love about it too, is that it's like for every trend that there is or was, you can still, it's not necessarily a trope and it's not necessarily a trend. It's like, if you love it, if you love the like little signs everywhere of like, we're an unplugged wedding and like pick a seat, not a side, we're all friends, whether you're with the groom or the bride, like whatever, all of that stuff. If that's your unique style, do it. And it works for you.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be a cool trend. It doesn't have to be the like, I did so a couple of weekends ago, I did a PowerPoint presentation party that I attended. That's my toxic millennial trait, is that I love research projects, and to do a research project, especially on my favorite subject, myself, it was the most fun. So I did it on like floral processing and that kind of stuff. And like the whole thing about it is it's like, if you're putting together this, like you're doing something trendy and whatever, if you want to look dated, then you'll do like the big trend of like right before, first of all, the big trend right before COVID hit was everything was burgundy, blush, and ivory. And then COVID happened and everything changed. But that trend was really taking steam and really locking in. And I thought burgundy, blush, and ivory was about to be the new burlap, lace, and baby's breath. And the Midwest, boy, did we hang the fuck on to our burlap, baby's breath, and lace.
Burlap hasn't gone anywhere.
No, it's timeless. It's circulating quite a bit through the rustic weddings and the home barn weddings and
mason
that kind
jars.
Of stuff.
Yep.
And I've been doing that for 10 years. Every bride that came up was like, okay, we're going to do something a little edgy. We want baby's breath bouquets for the bridesmaids. I want mine to be more rustic. I want baby's breath, and I want eucalyptus, and I want like sunflower, insert whatever seasonal flower here, sunflowers or roses or blah, blah, blah. But, and then all of our centerpieces, we're going to do, okay, it's going to be mason jars, but not just mason jars. They're going to be wrapped in burlap, and around the burlap is going to be lace, and it's going to tie it together in a little bow. And then I just want you to fill that with baby's breath. That's it. Wow.
Insert meme of Meryl Streep going florals for spring. Groundbreaking.
Exactly.
But like,
Tell
the thing
me
is,
about it.
for as much as we're giggling about it, it does look good.
It does look good.
does look
Exactly.
really good.
And if you're getting married in a barn, it looks good.
It looks
and if you're
really
getting married
good.
by the beach, you know what looks good? Seashells.
Yep.
It doesn't matter. It's not a
Yes.
trope and it's not a trend. It's like what works for you, the couple.
Yep.
And then do it. I don't care.
I attend so many weddings in a given year for working and as a guest. I have never once looked around at the decorations and said, ugh, so overdone.
Exactly.
They all always look amazing because they always match the bride and groom.
Which you get to see that as the DJ. Me, the florist, it feels very like, if I've done it once, I've done it 1,000 times. But to see but that's the thing, is I am one small part of a bigger picture. You are one small part of a bigger picture. And so when you layer all of these pieces together, you get to know the couple more intimately as the DJ than I do. But you are working with them on what are the songs, what are the And really, it's not just songs. What are the sounds? What is the soundtrack of your love?
Yeah.
And what is that like?
What's your vibe?
Exactly. And so you're curating this like whole energy around this couple. For me, it's like my superpower is tell me 3 words. How would you describe the overall vibe of your wedding in 3 words? And I will put together all the flowers that you need for it.
Yep.
And I think it's alarming to some people that you can say less. I get it. I know exactly what you're going for. The number of times that I've seen the combinations of like, okay, rustic, elegant, but classy. I can do that. And that combination of words, or like laid back. I want it laid back, classy, and fun, or whatever. I want whimsical, but I want formal and whatever. By the time I've sat down with you, we're looking at each other across the table. You've talked to me for probably 60 seconds and you've said your 3 words. It could be the exact same 3 words that the couple right before you just said. I got it. Give me the color scheme, your 3 words, and I've talked to you. I know exactly what you want. You can just trust me. It's magic. And I just know exactly what you want. And if I'm off the mark and I send you pictures, it doesn't happen. It happens so infrequently that it's anecdotal evidence. But when it does happen, it's like, okay, that's fine. I'm still going to send you pictures of what your wedding looks like, the flowers that I put together. For a Friday, Saturday wedding, your flowers come in on a Wednesday. I'm putting it together. I'm going to send you a picture. What do you think? You're either going to love it, you're going to hate it, which is rare, or you're going to say, can we do a little bit less greenery or whatever?
Yeah.
Because my style is going to be a little bit different than your style.
Right.
No, I would say 8 times out of 10, a solid B average, which if I could get a B average at anything, I'm winning.
B is great.
B is great. Yep. B's get degrees.
Yep.
So B average and like awesome that I crush it every time. I would say there's a handful of times in the mushy middle of like, take out less greenery, or can you add a couple other roses or whatever? Fine.
And you can make those tweaks.
Exactly. There's been like 5 times or less that someone has been like, can we talk? Absolutely. I've been a florist for 15 years.
Pretty good average.
Yeah, exactly. And even then, it's not necessarily it's not that I missed the mark. The flowers, I've never had to entirely reorder all new flowers or whatever. It's just like, I didn't want any green. It was a little bit of a miscommunication. I wanted no greenery and there's greenery in there. I said no roses and there's roses in there. Okay, fine. Problem solved. And now here's something. Or I was hoping that the blush would be a little bit more blush and less pink. I don't grow the things physically. And
it's hard to control how they're coming out of the ground.
So I worked with what I could. You didn't like this. That's fine. Let me order a new flower because we've got time. I can order a new flower that's more blush, or, and this is the dirty underbelly of the floral industry, I can order white and spray paint it blush and nobody knows the difference.
Scandal.
Yeah. Yes. How dare you?
But it's so cool to be having this conversation because we both work in the wedding industry, but we have different perspectives and different expertise. And this is the kind of conversation you can have at the wedding show as well. Like,
yes,
everyone is showing up as an expert in the field, ready to answer your questions and talk about what they do and what they're passionate about, because you wouldn't be in the wedding industry if you're not passionate about it.
Exactly. And I think that's the really fun part of like, to be on my side of things. All of my work happens up until the moment that I deliver the flowers. When I go in and drop everything off, the caterers haven't shown up yet. The event planner or the people at the venue, those people are all there and they're getting the tablecloths put on and they're getting everything set up and the chair covers. So I see all of the behind the scenes stuff that you, the couple, don't want to see. Or the couple is in getting hair and makeup with all of her girls. So you've got the makeup artists are in there and you've got your hair stylists that are in there. So that's the level at which I come in. My work happens beforehand. And then I come in at the same time that the day of staff are there. And then I'm leaving and I'm gone well before you get there.
Yeah.
And as the event DJs, I have always said, I can do the wedding industry until I'm 72 years old. I don't care. As long as I'm not physically the one climbing up the ladder and hanging the arbor pieces, because nobody wants to see Nana up on an arbor hanging stuff. And a lot of the times because of my toxic independence, I'm doing it by myself. Oh. Yeah. I'm up there carrying this massive bouquet of flowers and I've got zip ties hanging out of my mouth and I've got one hand trying to like attach it and I'm standing on a chair that I drug from the audience or whatever. And yeah, it's a nightmare. You don't want to see Nana doing that.
No.
But that's all of my stuff is done and I'll do it forever because I'm not losing out on my nights and weekends.
No, you're done by 2 p.m.
I'm done by 2 p.m. And that's like a big setup. I'm done by 2 p.m. I'm done usually by like 10:30. And it's like, okay, do we have somewhere for lunch? Because I'm hungry now. I got to go do this wedding now.
Yeah, my day starts at like, I'll start getting ready for a wedding at like 10 in the morning, get the car loaded up, make sure I have all my music downloaded, the playlist is set, make sure all the brides and grooms songs, especially for the ceremony, have backups in case of bad internet, all the parts and pieces in the car by 1 p.m., heading to the venue, unloading, setting up, tearing down, getting the ceremony site audio ready. It's like a 10 a.m. to like 1 a.m. the next day gig on average.
Yeah. And
It's
like
insane.
And that's the whole part of it, that it's like I know nothing about that. And photographers, it's the same. They're doing very similar, except their day would start at 8 in the morning and they go till maybe 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, and then they have to go do all of the editing.
Yeah, and then they have another day and a half of editing, depending on how many pictures they took. It's so crazy how everyone has different time frames within the wedding day. But it's really cool because we all come together and make it happen.
Exactly. And then when you see it all, and it really is like, it's the photographer that captures the moments that when people are vibing on the dance floor, or when people are having their first look and they're holding their bouquet, or when you've got like everyone's walking down the aisle and you've got the dress and you've got the girls all lined up and whatever, and you've got the people that are eating and people that are cutting the cake and all of that, where it's just like to see the entire vision come together. I live, breathe, and die for weddings, because it's just, and it's not something like, to me, I'm not necessarily like a super romantic person, and I'm not a person who's been like, oh, I've been planning my wedding since I was 3 or whatever. Like, no, I've had a lot of relationship mishaps that have led me along the way to find the love of my life that I so desperately am like helplessly in love with. And whatever, our wedding is going to be fine, but it's probably, I hope it's going to be fun and fine. But like, to be a part of so many weddings, it's like, it's just, I get to live my best life. I love weddings and I love love. And that's why we have the Love Story podcast, because I love hearing love stories of other people. I love hearing all of the ways that other people have made it work. I love seeing all of the different weddings and what makes a unique couple come together. Have you done more than one wedding for the same couple or for the same bride or groom?
Not yet.
I have. I was the vendor that made the cut twice.
Ooh, I think I don't want to brag, but I think all of my couples that I've been DJing weddings for 5 years now, I'm pretty sure everyone's still together.
Ooh, okay.
So,
I can't say for sure about the number of couples that are still together or not, but I do know that one of them broke up. Her first wedding, those flowers were gorgeous. And I think it was a lot about the wedding, less about the marriage. And the wedding was beautiful. But I didn't really know much about the couple. They were from the cities and whatever. And then she was like, we loved your flowers so much. You're the only vendor that made the cut twice. And I was like, okay.
What an honor.
I know.
You should get a plaque for that.
When she reached out, she was like, hey, and it was like a year and a half later.
Oh,
yeah.
Quick turnaround time.
Yeah, it was pretty quick turnaround time. I'm not one to talk because I've also had some pretty quick turnaround times, but
I don't judge.
No, she was like, hey, wedding number 1 didn't work out, but we loved you so much. We would love to use you. I want you for my wedding number 2. Done. And by all accounts, she's the happiest she's ever been and living her best life. So
that's awesome. And they like swapped.
Yeah. And so then it's like, yeah,
hell yeah.
fine.
Do what
Find
you need
your
to do.
person. Exactly. Whatever path takes you to finding your person, who cares?
And it's fun to stay in touch with like the couples. Like I always end up following them on Instagram because whenever I DJ, I do a recap video of just like, because usually the photographers and videographers are gone by the time the dance really gets going.
Sure.
So I always make like little recap Instagram reels.
Fun.
So then they can see like everyone dancing and having fun, and I tag them in it. And it's been so fun to see them have babies and we bought a house, we got a dog, like just following them on that like life journey afterwards. It's like, oh, it's so great.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
And to just be like, you're not just a DJ. Like, it's just like, yeah, I was there at at day 1 of you guys as a married couple, and then off you go.
The first couple I ever DJ'd their wedding of, they were at the wedding I was at a couple weeks ago, like as a guest, because they were friends with the bride and groom. Yep. And I'm like, Cassandra and Paul. Oh my gosh.
See, that's the one bummer that I have, where it's like, I don't see the couple. I usually maybe meet with the bride one time, once, maybe twice, whatever. And then on the wedding day, they look, you know, it's like I'm dropping off the flowers, so getting hair and makeup and whatever. So I don't know a lot of them by face. I know a lot by name, and I know a lot by what did your flowers look like? And then it's like, oh yeah, I know exactly the wedding. Show me a picture of your bouquet and I can tell you exactly what happened. And like now all of a sudden I know exactly who you are, but to bump into people in public, it's just like, I feel so bad not know. And like, it's not that I don't care.
Right.
It's just that I know your flowers much more intimately than I know you.
Right.
But you're on
that's
the
what you
dance floor.
spent the time with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You're on the dance floor with these people and you're watching them jam out.
Oh yeah.
It's like,
I'm watching grandma get down.
Oh, absolutely. That's so fun.
Yeah. It's a good time. I'm excited for the Love Story wedding show. I think we got a really cool idea for VIP hour this year. I think making it all in one room and very intimate. We're all in this together. It really shows the teamwork of what a wedding day takes.
Yes.
So
yes.
I'm really pumped for this year.
Building the culture of weddings in central Minnesota is like, that's the most important thing for me, where it's like, as much as I love, I don't want to say outsiders, but as much, because I've been an outsider too. I've gone down to the cities and I've gone up to like Brainerd and I've gone out to Alexandria and done stuff. And as much as it is to like, to be the outsider and come check out a new spot, it's fun. And it's exciting, but really like my heart beats for weddings in central Minnesota, where it's like, I know who your photographer is. I know that you're going to take great pictures. I know that I'm going to get great pictures to use for my own social media content because we all know each other. When people find out, like when I know who the photographer is, done. That's a wrap. It's going to be a great day. Or when I know particular venues too, it's like, okay, easy peasy. I know exactly what it's going to be like to roll in. I know exactly what it's going to be like to set up. And I can tell you from start to finish what this wedding is going to be like, and that's perfect.
Yep. I know where the power outlets are.
Exactly. For you, I need to know exactly what the sound is going to sound like in here. Done. And I think building more of that wedding culture in central Minnesota, of the people where it's like, you want to come get married here, because not only is it going to be, you're going to be saving money from like your Twin Cities weddings and that kind of stuff, but also like you're dealing with people who are incredibly professional. It drives me crazy when people talk about the wedding industry in central Minnesota as if everybody's cheap and nobody wants to spend money. They do. You just have to prove yourself. It's the same thing with any small town. It's a big small town. Prove yourself. And yeah, make me trust you and I'll give you all my money. I don't care.
We have so many great service providers in the area, and we all want to see each other succeed too. So we're all going to do what it takes to help each other along the way.
Yep.
I love. It's so great.
And there's just going to be more great vendors at the Love Story Wedding Show. January 11th, 2026. VIP hour is 10 to 11. That's Abbey's time to shine. Yeah. We're going to have the audio booth set up. We're going to have the podcast booth set up so we can have love stories. Tell your love story. Have your little audio booth, you know, with your like, tell your little whatevers. Just say something that you love and whatever. We'll send it to you and you can use your little audio clip, whatever.
Yeah. You can text it right to yourself from the device. It's pretty sweet.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know exactly what you're doing.
Yeah.
I love that.
Come to the show. Let me show you all my fun technology.
Yes, exactly. Let me show you all of the ways that I can make you super cool.
Let me show you why I have a Best Buy credit card.
Okay. Well, I'm excited. Thank you. And we're going to rock it out of the park this year.
Heck yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Sweet. Get your tickets, y'all.
Get your tickets, y'all. Let's be honest. Most cookies out there are either too basic or too bougie. But Molly B's somehow nailed the balance. Bold, fun, and unforgettable cookies that actually taste as good as they sound. We're talking flavors like Be Cordial with chocolate and cherry chunks, Big Joe with fresh ground coffee and a hint of rum, Boba Doodles with Snickerdoodle and Boba Pearls, and everybody's favorite train wreck, the Hot Mess, with mango, white chocolate, and crushed hot Cheetos on top. I know. It sounds unhinged, but trust me, one bite and you'll be hooked. Molly's a single mom from Alaska who turned her kitchen experiments into a full-blown national sensation. Featured on Food Network, Martha Stewart Living, and even at the Grammy Awards. These cookies are indulgent, surprising, and absolutely addictive. And because I've got the hookup, you get 10% off your order. Yes, the highest discount they offer when you use my code LOVESTORY at mollybees.com. Stock up for gifts, hoard them for yourself, or both. No judgment here. All right, let's talk vodka. Not the boring, flavorless kind you panic buy before a party, but something with actual personality. Norman's Shuck vodka from Garden State Distillery. This stuff is distilled in small batches in Toms River, New Jersey, and it's infused with oysters, seaweed, and sea salt. Basically, the Jersey Shore in a glass, minus the spray tans. They call it a dirty martini in a bottle, and they're not wrong. It's got this subtle salty brine, a little ocean breeze vibe, and a smooth finish with just a hint of pepper. Honestly, it makes your Bloody Marys, oyster shooters, and even your basic vodka sodas taste like you know what you're doing. Oh, and seafood? Forget it. This vodka was born to sit next to a platter of oysters. And because I negotiated like the feisty podcast host I am, you get 15% off anything from Garden State Distillery. Yep, the highest discount out there, exclusively for my listeners. Just use code LOVESTORY at gardenstatedistillery.com. You're welcome. Thank you for listening to the Love Story Podcast. You can subscribe to the show and you can follow us at the Love Story Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Do you think you have a love story for the ages? Do you think you have a love story that's like a meet cute? Or maybe you just have a regular old love story, but you guys have been together for so long that you don't even remember how you met? We would love to have you on the Love Story Podcast to tell your story. Every love story is unique. Every love story is special. And whether you think you've got a cool story, a funny story, or just a heartwarming story, or just a story of the everyday, regular old love, that's the kind of stuff we want to hear. Reach out at info@lovestoryweddingshow.com and we will schedule a time to get you featured on the Love Couch. If you're not local, we have the capabilities of doing it digitally as well. So don't forget to reach out, info@lovestoryweddingshow.com, or head to the show notes.